Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share what is left over from my April 2017 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. I will have all the products that I used up and what I have left over, as well as my layouts. This kit was based on the April 2017 Counterfeit Kit Challenge blog inspiration kit, and it was Cocoa Daisy's February 2017 Ashton Court kit, and it included not only the scrapbooking kit but the planner kit, the scrapbook paper, and the day in the life kit. So it had all of that. So what I did was I went through my stash and I found a collection of paper that had been in my stash for a while, and I pulled it as my base, and then I added in a lot of extra paper over what came in the original kit that I pulled out, which was this one. It came with stickers, what do you call it, alpha stickers, embellishment stickers, and 12 double-sided papers. Well, I added a lot of paper in. I started off with 12 by 12 paper. I had a total of 40 sheets of paper because I had some specialty papers. 8.5 by 11 paper, I had 3. I added in 26 6 by 6 pieces of paper, and I added in 4 sheets of craft paper. Now this includes, the 12 by 12 includes all of my cardstock as well as my pattern paper. But I had a total of 73 pieces of paper in this kit. Crazy, right? 40, 50, 60, 70, yeah, 73. So this is where I started for my inspiration, and it was this piece of paper with all the colors in it that of course drove me to create this kit. Was it just like the inspiration kit? No, but it's what I put together from my own stash, so I didn't have to go out and buy anything. Even though having some new products is really fun, I have a lot of stuff in my stash that I want to get used, so I'm okay with pulling from my stash. So let me share with you what I have left as far as paper goes. This is it. This is what I have left, and I actually just have 2 sheets that I have not cut into of the 6 by 6 paper left. That's it as far as what I haven't cut into. Everything else I cut into. And you can see I have some star shapes left over here. I have 2 card fronts that I created and never did anything with, and I used scraps to create these. And I have lots of little border strips and things, and I could create more layouts or more cards, but I'm done. I'm tired of working with this. This is actually a piece of washi tape, and so some of these scraps will go into my scrap stash. Other pieces will go right directly into the trash. And I won't go over with you what I'm going to throw and what I'm going to keep. But you can see I have a lot of scraps left, but I used a ton of paper. Next, I have these loose embellishments. These were from a punch-out paper. I went ahead, they were all falling apart, so I pulled them all out of the punch-out paper and I kept them in here. I'll keep them all together. I'll put them in one of the little plastic baggies that's left over. This, I used a scrap piece of paper, punched out a doily, an oval doily, and then I added that. I was going to use it as an embellishment for a card, and then I didn't use it. And then these metal bits and pieces. I don't think these daisies are going back into my stash. I think they're just too orange, too bright orange for me to use on anything. And then the star clips, I didn't use them, so they may go in my outbox too. Everything else, if it had a package, I put it back in. These are Remark stickers, and I did use quite a few of these. All of my little letter stickers I did use at least once. I don't think I used these at all. These are silver. They're Sticko stickers, and I just peeled away the outer packaging and was left with the letters on there. I had these designer brads, and I think I have like a silver one left, and I think I used that. The stickers that came with the kit, I used quite a few, the letter stickers. And then these were the embellishment stickers, and I used quite a few of those. And I still have a few in here that I might use, like this heart, this little triangle, this flower, this coffee cup, maybe this feather, but the rest, yeah, I don't think I'll use. This sundries kit from an SEI paper pack that I had in my stash. I used quite a few pieces from it, but this is what I have left over. As far as sticker sheets, I used several from this sheet. I used several from this sheet. several from this sheet. And I have 2 sheets here of the same stickers, and I did use several from there. I think I used 1 or 2, maybe 1 from this sheet of stickers. And here's more of those punch aparts that I have left, and you can see I did use some of these. I used a couple of these stickers, and they didn't come in brand new. I had used some already. This alpha, I used a couple letters from. These I used quite a few from. There's 2 sheets in here, and it goes through the ABCs 1, 2, 3, 4 times on each set, so you can see the letters that I used all of. This set I think I may have used once, and then these 2 I used once. These letter stickers, I got another title from there. I think I used these at least once, and these a couple of times. And I think I used these at least once. I have these washi sticker, washi tape stickers, and there were 2 sheets in here originally. I have 1 sheet left, and you can see I have 2 full strips in here and then 3 partials. This is another set, and I had 2 full sheets in here, and from here you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full ones and 2 partials. I have these black and white stickers. I did not use those, although I tried many times. There were a couple of silver stickers on here that I used up, and then I have this border, and it'll probably go in the trash. I have these chipboard stickers, and I used them, I think, maybe a couple of times as far as the chipboard circles with phrases go. I don't remember using any of the arrows, but we'll see. I have these 2 little clips left, these heart paper clips, and I used 6 of the 8 that were in here. Chipboard stickers, I used a lot of. I had a couple of words on here, and I still just have this one, and I'm determined I'm going to use it at some point, so I'm keeping it. I have these little acrylic pieces left, and they say hello in a speech bubble. I think I started with 3 and I've ended with 3. I didn't use these on anything this time. Doesn't mean that I won't use them in future, but I didn't use them this time. This set of little metal charms, I think I started with 4 and I used 1. I think I had used the other 2 on a different project. These brads, stitch brads, I used 3. I don't know that I used any of these, or I may have used just 1. I had 2 sets of these, and I used all of the black stickers out of here, and I made a pretty good dent in that package, so I'll probably combine these 2 together and get rid of at least 1 package there. I have a couple of these clips, these the metal camera clips with the heart, and you can see on this one I broke off the paper clip portion of it, which is what I did in the one that I used, but I didn't end up using this one, so it went back into my bag. I have these metal clips left over. I have these enamel dots, and I used quite a bit. I used quite a few of the cameras. I did not use any of these. As precious as they are, I didn't use any. And I still have quite a few. I used a couple from this package of enamel embellishments. I have this set of colored stickers, and I used half of this one, and then this one, and I have the rest left. These little metal embellishments, I've used about half a pack of them, but I think I'm done with them. I don't think I'm going to use these anymore, so these are going in my do not want pile. These are cork, colored cork numbers, and I did use these at least once, but I still have quite a few numbers in there. I don't think I used this lace tape, or I maybe used it once. I have these little geotag clips, and I didn't use those. This package started off with 12 of the photo corners, and I have used 8 of them, and I still have 4 left. I used this bit of bling as far as one little piece of it. I'm tired of this being in my stash, so it's going to go in my do not want pile. I have this word bling that says friend. I'm going to keep it. Didn't use it. I have these 2 gemstone packages, and I did use quite a bit of those. I have these 2 enamel dot leftovers. They're sugar dots from Michaels, and I have quite a few left over, but I use them quite a bit. I think I have a leftovers bag with white and also with blue, so these may go into there. I have this set of white acrylic pieces left. I used quite a few of those. I had only used maybe 1 or 2 coming into this kit, and I used a ton of them on the layouts I created. This piece had a star insert and then a heart cutout, and so I used those other 2 pieces, and I have these 2 pieces left. I used one of the acrylic glasses. I used a few of these green enamel dots, a few of these dots, but I also had these. I may combine those so that, you know, my package is cut down to some degree. I used quite a few. I think I used 2 tags. There were 4, I think, originally, and I used 2 of them. This one had like 6 scalloped wood circles, and I used all but 1. These are the half circles with the words on them, and I think I used a couple of these. This had hexagons as well as circles. These will go into my leftover pack, and I'll get rid of the packaging on that because I don't have very many left there. I used all the hexagons. The brads I pulled, I used a couple from each package. As far as these wood flowers go, I think I started off with 3 colors, and now I'm down to 2 colors. And that's what I have left over. There's 5. I started off with a couple of bows. I know I had at least 1 white, and then I had a black, and I used the white one. I used these acrylic presents at least once, but I still have 3 left. I have these little silicone emoticons, and I think there was probably 8 or 12 to start with, and I used quite a few of them. I also learned that you can't use glue dots or regular adhesive with these, and so I use my stapler with them. I still have the frame with glitter I added in. This pack from SEI die cuts called From Just Because. I didn't use any of them. They're really not my style. I don't think I'm going to use any of them, so they're going into my do not want pile. I have a couple of packages of Flair left. I have 1 here and 2 here. I think I'm going to reduce the packaging here and get rid of and put these in just a bin that I have with metal embellishments. These ribbons, I used all but 1. I did not use the gingham, but I used the other 3, so I felt like I got some use out of them. So I'm okay with getting rid of these. Of these WOW clips, I used 1. And those will go back into my stash. I have this lace washi tape. It's got adhesive back on it, and I did not use that at all, I don't think. The hearts, the glitter hearts I used, and I think I used all of the washi tape at least once. And you can see I had added in a boatload of washi tape. And that's what I have left, and then I have some twine left. I had added in orange twine, and I did use up 1 complete roll, 2 rolls of washi tape, and I'll show you. So that's it as far as leftovers go. Paper and embellishments. Some of this stuff may get the packaging reduced a little bit more, and it just may go into my stash that way, and then I can, you know, get rid of a little bit more trash. But I just wanted to share as far as all of that goes. That's what I have left over. And it was a huge kit, so I don't feel bad about getting rid of a few things, because really and truly, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at what I'm getting rid of, that's not much. And it'll go in to a good cause. It'll go to my granddaughter's kindergarten class next year. And so that's stuff that I'm going to reduce packaging on. Okay, now to show you the packaging that I went through. You can see I did use up a package of note cards. They were the 4 by 5.5 washi tape, washi sticker pieces. I had some leatherette tags that I used up. There's those punch out pieces. I had a bling that I used up, and all sorts of little packaging, enamel hearts and flowers, some paper clip cameras. Oh, that's the one, cameras. I'll keep that package. acrylic bows, rubber shapes, heart puffy stickers, and leather arrows. That was that other package. So that's what I'm getting rid of as far as trash goes. I did pull in some scraps, and this is what I have left over of the scraps that I pulled in just for stamping purposes. And then this is a washi tape that I used up, as well as this yellow washi tape. And then I had this for another purpose, just to kind of back, like when I use bow or brads or something, I use this to tape the backs or cut out circles, or cut out shapes from the inside. And so that's what I have used up as 3 rolls of washi tape. Not bad. And I did just I opened this kit in April, and so I feel like I put it together in April, and I actually started using it the end of April. Now I'm going to show you the layouts and cards that I created. Okay, so of the 73 sheets of paper that I started with, I created 18 layouts and 16 cards. I'll start with the layouts, or I'll just start with the order that I finished the layouts in. Let me make sure that I'm centered here. Get that out of the way. And adjust my camera just a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, so this first layout is a photo of my granddaughter Ellie. She's 2 in this photo, and you can see I used 3 different, there's Ellie, Our Sweet, and then Birthday Girl, 3 different fonts there. And I'll tell you this, black and white alphabet did not stick worth a hooey, and I had to glue it down every time I used it. There's one of those camera clips with the heart in it. There's an acrylic shape, and that one little rhinestone cupcake that I used, and then there's the heart cut out. Very pretty. So yeah, you can see lots of little additions. This was actually 6x6 paper that I cut into strips here. And you can see, oh, nope, that's washi tape from the kit itself. This next one, this is my granddaughter Shawnee and her best friend Ashlyn from school, from not this past year, but the year before. And they are still good buddies. Even though my granddaughter has moved to a different town, they still stay connected and still talk to each other. And you can see this is the layout where I realized that you cannot have regular adhesive on the back. It just slimed everywhere. And so I just left it sticking there until I can get my stapler opened up and then mash that down there. Yeah. Learned my lesson the hard way that way. That time. I'm not going to try and clean up or hide that. I'm just going to staple that down and leave it alone. I may wipe up the mess behind it, but that's it. And then on the back of this, I cut the center out so that I made it go a little bit further. Made the papers go, because obviously 73 sheets of paper is not nearly enough that I, can use a full sheet. This piece of pattern paper here was so very flimsy that I had to back it on a scrap or a piece of paper that I knew I wasn't going to use to give it some added texture. And you can see these first layouts are all ones that I did when I went to a crop in April, the end of April. And I took this kit. This was the only kit that I took with me that I worked out of. I did take my Christmas supplies to make some Christmas cards, but that's it. I knew this one was quite huge and would suffice. And so you can see lots of little embellishments here and here. And then I used that font and put down Our Sweet Ellie Bean. That's what we call my youngest granddaughter, is Ellie Bean. Anyway, so there's that one. And I used lots of the papers and cut them into strips. Used lots of washi tape along there. Had a good time with creating that one. This one, another one of Ellie, and I really need to back this on because this cardstock is very, very thin, very flexible, so I need to back this one as well. And I'll do that before it goes into her album. And so her real name is Electra, and so I don't call her that, I call her Ellie. So when she's at my house, we all call her Ellie here. And so that's one of those stickers. I added some of the enamel dots inside that sticker there. Used a flare, a brad, lots of enamel dots. And there's where I used some of that scrap paper that I pulled in addition to the paper that I already had. This one is of my son Jason. It is one that I started with the background cardstock because I felt like it matched the wood there, and then I pulled in these or this, and it was the back side of that beautiful paper, I think, with all the, no, it was the back side of the green paper that I love too. But I pulled it because it had this wood grain with the texture going like this, and I felt like it matched the vertical blinds there. And you can see I used the acrylic pieces. I used, oh, what you call it? The emoji. Those arrows, and those arrows don't stick worth a hooey either. There's where I used one of the foam words. I used the scallop piece there, flare, lots of little embellishments throughout, one of those silver stickers, and it says bummer dude. And then I just had some fun little phrases in there that I put hashtag fun, I hate this, focus on the positive, don't judge me, and carpe diem. But if you look at my son's face, I mean, that is so apropos when we are fixing to take a picture. He just gives you this look of, really? Really? And I think that's what he was telling me. Really, Mom? Another picture? Really, Mom? Yeah. Anyway, this one is a 2-page spread of my husband's new truck. It was new to him. Not brand new. I think the truck was a couple of years old, but had really low mileage and had every bell and whistle known to man. And so he bought it. And so I did use one of those Hello acrylic pieces. But I used some of these word phrases here on the circles. And those are actually from my bash kit that I created in January, as is this silver tape here and here, and then the one that's over here. I pulled that in just because it gave me the option with the silver backing that I put the silver around these photos, my, you know, primary photos. I felt like I could pull that silver, it's fabric, tape, fabric, ribbon with tape backing. Oh gosh, sorry. I'm making this a lot more difficult. If my words would just come, that would make it a whole lot easier. Anywho, so there's that. This one is of my granddaughter Zoe. And you can see this is a loud layout, but if you look at her photo closely, she is quite loud in the photo. If it's sparkly or glittery, she wants it. She wants to wear makeup constantly. So, I mean, this little peacock is all her. That is her. She is a peacock. She will dress up to the nines for whatever reason. And so I used the flare that I had, and I cut it apart and used bits and pieces along the way. I used the glasses here, the acrylic glasses. I used 2 different fonts for the date. I added in some of the chipboard words. Lots of embellishments on here. This is another one, because this black paper was very, very flimsy as a background. I added a piece of paper I knew I wasn't going to use for the paper to reinforce my background. And those weren't originally added into the paper count. This is a 2-page layout for my youngest granddaughter, Ellie, for her birthday. This is my son and his partner and my son's oldest daughter, and then their daughter together, Ellie. And Shawnee, she's my older granddaughter. So these are from April of 2016. This was her 2nd birthday, and so she just passed her 3rd birthday this year. And so I used the font here, the punch out pieces, a couple of those big tags, stickers, enamel dots, puffy stickers, washi tapes, paper. I mean, you name it, and I used it on this layout. And the last couple of the leather tags, I think I used here as well. Here's another birthday layout for her. Again, this is Ellie's birthday, and this is from 2016 for her 2nd birthday. And these are just pictures of the party and the celebration that she had. And I actually journaled a little bit there. yeah, and use 3 different fonts to create the title. Use some of the acrylic pieces. Oh, I did use one of those chipboard arrows there, and then topped it with an acrylic arrow and then one of those little puffy arrows there. Turned out really cute. Here's one that I created. This is the last one that I created at the crop that I went to. This is of all of us there. One of the girls there took her photo printer along with her, and so at the crop we had a photo taken together, and she printed out a copy for each of us, and I put the title Scrapbook and then Spring Retreat here, and these are girls that I try and scrapbook with a couple of times a year. We go to different retreats, different places for retreat, and it's I use the different fonts to put our names down here at the bottom, and here's me. I'm sitting down in the floor. I did use one of the gold hearts. I used some of the feathers there. I used this leatherette bow here. And I used this alpha again down here to put the date. Oh, and I did use that once, that lace ribbon. This is, again, this piece of paper. No, it wasn't. That one I added in, and so I left it alone. I didn't cut it out. It was thick enough. Here's one that I created. I had cut a border strip off of a piece of paper, and I added it just down there. Some of that texture paper I added in. Some of the ribbons I added in here. I used a lot of those puffy stickers on this layout. Just a little cluster of embellishment here and a cluster down here, and I called it done. These are photos that I took one morning as I was getting out at work. Early in the morning, like at, I don't know, like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun was just starting to come up. It was still winter time. And so my bangs had that perfect look, and it's before I cut off my hair and recolored my bangs. It doesn't really show it well in the photo, but my bangs were, all of my white is showing through. I don't have gray hair. I have white, stark raving white coming in mixed with the underlying natural brown and auburn of my hair. And so that morning when I got out of the car, when I pulled up, I looked in the mirror and it's like, holy smokes, that looks super duper white. And the photos just didn't reflect it, but believe me, in person, super duper white. I have since recolored it, and so I have highlights back in my hair. Anyway, here's another one, photo of my son Joshua. And I just used a grid layout for this one. And I'm sorry I'm not giving credit where I pulled sketches from, but I just forgot to write them down, so sorry about that. I usually try and give credit, and I've just forgotten. There's another of those acrylic bows on this layout. Just a cluster of embellishment here, the title here, a cluster here, and a cluster here. So I have my 3 clusters in my title, and it says, "So proud of you. Hooray." And celebrate life, the good and the bad. This kid's been through a lot, and so just really proud of him. He's made some really poor choices in life, and he's made some really good ones. So I'm proud of the guy. This one is of Zoe. Again, we're playing make-believe at my house. We do this a lot. We get one of her Grumpy's old t-shirts and we create costumes. Today, for this layout, it was she wanted to make a queen outfit and she wanted a crown. And so we got one of Grumpy's old t-shirts and we created a queen's gown. And she created a crown, and we used the umbrella as a scepter. So she is so fun. She has the best imagination ever. And you can see I just punched a bunch of circles on this layout and placed them all over, and then I just created embellishments every here and there. Nothing real specific about this. I mean, it was just fun to create something like this. These are some of the cards that I created. I created these 4, all basically the same way. I had this black sheet of glitter paper that I had used a few little pieces off of, and so I had a big piece of it left, so I decided, okay, I'm going to use it to back some cards. And so I cut down scrap papers and created each one. They're all alike, and so there's different stamps. This one says thank you. And the inside is blank, so I can leave the sentiment, and I didn't stamp the cards either. And so this one says, I love you. And you can see here, I used the gold glitter and one of the enamel hearts there. I used an enamel heart there, and then enamel, they're not enamel dots, they're enamel hexagons. Here this says I love you, the enamel heart here, and then the enamel dots there. And then the rest of the hexagons, and that with thank you there. So there's those. And then I had a day where I wanted to play with my different inks and a really wild stamp. I really wanted to play with this peacock stamp, and I pulled out several different colors. There's 3 or 4 different colors on here. You really can't tell it necessarily on each different one. All the different colors, some you can tell more so than others. You know, you can see the darker, the lighter, the purples that I added in. But each of these it's the same design throughout. I just stamped the peacocks a little different, and I went through my scrap bin and I pulled out papers, a few full papers from my stash as well as some scraps from my kit to create these cards. I used the brads and the bling from my kit. The white paper I pulled in, this background paper here, the green is from my kit, the green here is from my kit, and then this one I pulled from. So each card is built around the same profile and just different images or different sentiments and inside sentiments. This one says dream, and then it says the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And then all the cards are the same. Oh man, I need to put some liquid glue on that to hold that against that glittery background. Okay. This one says, happy birthday to you. Envelope is the same, and it says, wishing you the best today, tomorrow, and always. This one is happy birthday to you, and you can see, same stamp. And I used as many scraps from my kit as I possibly could, but I did pull in some additional papers and such. Wishing you the best today, tomorrow, and always. Another dream. And the same sentiment. So I think I did 2 of each. This one says hello, and it says thinking of you and smiling, happy birthday. And you can see on this one I varied the colors as well between the purple and the turquoise and the blue that I used. I added them all through there. And then on that one you can see a lot of turquoise on that flamingo or peacock. Again, hello, same sentiment. This one says best wishes. The best thing about this card is the person holding it. Happy birthday. This one says best wishes and the same sentiment. This one, these 3 were a little bit different. I used just the end of that card pack that I had. And so with it, I used a lot of scraps, but I took some white cardstock from my stash and just used that as the front so that I could do this sewing on there. Otherwise, I would have done it right on the front of the card. I stamped the star, I stamped the little flourish behind it, pulled these little stars in from my stash, pulled in the happy birthday and that little bit of stitching there. And then on the inside, it says thinking of you. And all 3 of these are the same. And on the envelopes, I just stamped a little heart. And I stamped the inside sentiments all the same with the same colors. Here, I created this one using a couple of stickers and a couple of enamel dots and scraps of paper. And inside, it just has, it says the cutest baby. And then on the inside it says welcome. I just used some of the letter tiles that I had. And then the last couple of layouts, these have not been, I haven't photographed these or these cards. So I need to set these aside to photograph for the blog. This one I used a sketch from Creative Scrappers. June 2017 was the sketch date. So I just did this the other day. And you can see that blue roll of tape. That's what I did with a lot of it. This is another tape that I've pulled out to use up. I've never used it on any project. Maybe one in all the years that I've had it. But anyway, you can see this is mostly scraps. I took my, it's not tissue paper, but it's close to paper along the back. I used the yellow paper on top of the craft paper, and then just used some border strips that I had cut off and some washi tape. Lots of those acrylic pieces here. Lots of, those were all letters. I used a different font here, cut it off, but not all of it, and then 12 inches gone here. Some chipboard pieces, lots of random stickers up in here. And so that's it. And finally, this one, it is from Let's Get Sketchy, June 1st sketch. And it's of my grandkids, Cameron and Zoe. And I used 1, 2, 3, 4 different fonts here. This one was the gray one, and I just put some stripes on it. Another of those silicone emojis. Lots of scraps on this one. All of this is scraps. This was a full 6x6 piece of paper. The rest were all scraps, and this was the last full sheet of paper, and I had been hoarding it because that is one of my favorite colors of green. I had some twine in here, and I think this is probably the only project that I used the twine on. Another piece of that textured paper that I had in there, the specialty paper. Used lots of the black hearts, or hearts, how about arrows? Well, 3 of them here. And one of those clips that says wow. And so that's it. So for the 73 pieces of paper that I started off with, I ended up with 16 cards and 18 layouts. So I'm pretty impressed with that. And only had left over 2 full 6x6 sheets of paper that I did not cut into. So of 71 sheets of paper, I created the 16 cards and 18 layouts. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching my video. If you create your own kits, I would love to see. I would love to see what you have put together as far as kits go, and what you have created with those kits. I am very much a use my stash kind of person. I do buy new things all the time, and I incorporate them into the things that I use. But I have lots of older supplies that I absolutely love, and I refuse to give up just because they're older products. I love them, and I know at some point I'm going to use them. But those products that I cleaned out today, you know, I set to the side. Those are products I know I'm not going to use anymore. Did not even have any inclination to use much of it in this kit, so I'm like, I'm done with them. So those will be gone as of today. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.